Hi, everybody. We are here today with John Palmer and Janice McIntyre. And today we're going to take a look at some dolls that'll be on display at the Hopkinton Historical Society this Saturday. But before we get into that, Janice, why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you're from?
I am from Hopkinton, grew up in Hopkinton, and I work in Southborough, and then I collect dolls.
All right. And John, how about yourself?
Well, I'm a longtime Hopkintonian, been very active in town government, a number of positions. And my last one, and we just left Hopkinton, I had to resign all my positions, but I still am a member of the Historical Society, because that's not a town affiliate. So I'm actually the current president of the Historical Society. I love the job very much because I love history, particularly the history of Hopkinton.
Absolutely. And we're going to have a doll display at the Historical Society this weekend. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. We've been looking for activities to get people in the door here. We are in need of more visibility in the community, and we came across Janice, or she came across us. I'm not sure how it worked, but anyways, Janice has this unbelievable collection, over 100 dolls, all set up in our big meeting room hall. It's spectacular. So, and it's all set to go for Saturday.
And that'll be 10 to 3:30?
That's correct. We'll open at 10 and we'll stay till 3:30 or whatever.
As long as we have the interest, right?
Yeah. We're hoping for a good turnout. I think we've tried to communicate this affair if anybody has any interest in dolls, they must come and see it.
Absolutely. And I understand you have a couple dolls you're going to show us today.
Yeah, I'll show you two different dolls from two different times. We've got dolls from the mid-1800s, then we go to the 1900s, 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up to the 60s, all around the room. And so they all kind of go in this order. This is an early doll here. It's known as a China head doll. And these dolls were late 1800s. And it's porcelain, but it's a glazed porcelain. And it's a very early doll. So we start with this type, and then move on and go around. Now this little lady here that John has, she's from the 1950s. And she's called Sweet Sue. She's a hard plastic doll. So she's basically around the other end of the room, but it kind of gives you a contrast of the different types we'll have here.
Do you know how many different types there will be?
Well, we've got over 100 dolls.
So a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. I can give you an idea, a China head, then bisque, then celluloid, composition, hard plastic, and vinyl, and cloth.
So the other day, one of the ladies working, I think it was the garden club who was using our space, was working and looking at the dolls and was oohing and ahhing over the Dion quintuplets.
Yeah.
So we have Janice has a collection of the quintuplet dolls for anybody that strikes an interest in it. It certainly was to this person.
Yeah, and they're a composition. So they're from the 1940s.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How did the Historical Society get all these dolls for display?
It's my collection.
Wow. Terrific.
Yeah.
How long have you been collecting?
Oh, probably 16, 17 years, I would say. A lot of the dolls that I got came to me because people would call. They belonged to their mother, they belonged to their grandmother, they had no interest, their children had no interest, and they just couldn't throw them away. And neither could I. So I ended up with a lot of dolls. I just saved them, and then I passed them on as well, quite often.
Well, that's terrific. It should be quite a display this weekend. And Janice, John, thanks so much for joining us. And John, go ahead.
I would like to add one tidbit. In addition to the doll collection, we're calling this an open house. We're opening up our archive side of the room where we're sitting right now, which has our collection of Hopkinton history. We've got a lot of displays for people to look at, old maps, old photographs, postcards, what have you.
It's fascinating.
And it's also going to be available. So you can see the dolls and you can see the history.
Absolutely. And of course, you'll have the holiday stroll and the Christmas tree lighting this weekend as well. So head over to the Historical Society from 10 to 3:30 and then head into town to check out the Christmas tree. Janice and John, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.